Hey everyone! Well, we're here. We're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and the MLM we'll be talking about today is Scentsy. So I know I recently did a Scentsy video, and I try and break up how often I talk about a certain MLM as much as I can, but before I did the video, or when I did the video that I last did, I actually had planned to do this one first, and when I clicked into I have a playlist of videos that I want to react to. I clicked on the other one first and I was like, well, that's a pretty good one because that was the one where she just put up graphics. I was like, you can make this money if you have X amount of people, and you can make this money if you have this amount of people. And I was like, I mean, how do we know that these are real numbers? You can put any number you want out there and claim that it's real. So since I originally wanted to react to this video, we will now be doing that today. This is a share the opportunity workshop video. So normally we do reacts to just opportunity videos, but this is a video on how to share the opportunity with others. So essentially a training video, so to speak, but fancify it up by saying workshop. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really like it, please subscribe. Both of those things really help out my channel. And just as a reminder, I do have a Patreon that will be in the description below. And I just want to thank those of you who have signed up for my Patreon. And this is kind of embarrassing, but I squealed when I saw that people wanted to sign up. And I was just so excited that you guys want to continue to support me and see my channel grow, and I am so grateful. And I just wanted to thank you again. I know I've already thanked you, but I just wanted to thank you again. And you guys will be seeing your names appear at the end of this video. So if anyone else would like to sign up, as I said before, the link is in the description. I also have a link to my Poshmark closet, which is another way to help support the channel. I also have a few other things in my description. So as always, fun links are down below. All right, with all of that said, let's get started.
Okay, cool. Thanks for joining me on a whim. We are still getting people to join, but we are doing the Share the Opportunity workshop tonight. So I'm excited that you guys were able to join me on such short notice. So some of you on this call have never sponsored a new team member. Some of you have sponsored a new team member. So why don't you raise your hand if you've sponsored somebody this month? If you have sponsored somebody this month. Okay, that would be. Anyone else sponsored anybody this month? Good girl. All right, perfect. Have you raised your hand? Oh, did. Excellent. Raise your hand if, oh, cool. Okay, raise your hand if you have sponsored somebody last month. Cool. Cool. All right. Raise your hand. This will be the last time. Raise your hand if you have consistently recruited one person a month this entire year. Is that you raising your hand, or did you have it up from the last time?
Well, I'm trying to take it down, but
okay,
because I haven't been here all year.
Okay, well, okay, let's go rephrase that. Since you've joined, have you consistently sponsored a new team member every month?
Why isn't she asking them, have you sold $500 each month? Have you been able to sell 3 warmers a month or 20 wax cubes a month? Why is it, have you been sponsoring somebody every single month? Why is it never, how much have you made in sales this month? If they did that, if that's what they were talking about in this, none of us would be here.
Yes.
Okay, good. And excellent. Okay, perfect. So this will be a breeze for you guys. But the cool thing is that for those of you, and you guys can help too with ideas. And the good thing is though, is that we can always have room to grow, right? So whether you are consistently recruiting or you've never recruited, it doesn't have to be a scary thing. And everybody that has recruited can kind of attest to it's not a scary thing. But sometimes what it means is just getting out of your comfort zone a little bit more and definitely having a mind shift a mindset shift. And when I say a mindset shift, I really mean that you have to realize that you're not bothering people, that you are really helping people to understand that this can bless people's lives. And when you share the opportunity, just like the workshop is called, you are blessing people's lives. You're not bothering. You're not demeaning anybody by asking. And she's not on this call, but one of my newest team members, she actually said, "Why me?" She said, because this is my thing, and I'm getting a little bit off the workshop, but just real quick. I have this sponsoring notebook. For those of you who have not seen it, I will show it to you really quick. So I have a sponsoring notebook.
It's the notebook.
It is not little, it's big. And in this notebook, I have a list. My goal every day is to contact 10 people a day. Okay, so this is my system. This is how I do it. And I have it broken up into 2 different ways. First one is new sponsoring conversations. And then I have it broken up into A, B, C, D, all the way A through Z. Okay, so, and then I have the next tab back here, if you can kind of see it, is reinstatements. Okay, those are people that have been a consultant and that they have gone inactive and I'm asking them to come back. So my goal is,
I couldn't imagine quitting a job. I mean, I know this does happen. This is not super common, and people do ask people to come back to jobs, but like, this is supposed to be your business, your job that you're the boss babe of, and you decide to quit, which is completely up to you. You are allowed to do that. But then somebody's trying to get you to come back. It's like, if I want to quit my own job and I want to quit my own business that apparently I started and I'm the CEO of, why are you asking me to come back? No. I think that once someone leaves, they left for a reason. Do not ask them to come back.
10 a day, whether that be all new or a combination of new and reinstatements or whatever. So not my plan. I just said it. My system. There you go. My system every day is I just get 10 blank pieces of paper every day, and I put them in this little pocket here. Okay. And in the pocket, I do not stop until my 10 pieces of paper are filled for the day. Okay. And this is how my conversations have been going. Hey, so-and-so, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy, or have you ever thought about joining Scentsy for extra income? That's it. Now, obviously, if I've never talked to this person, that's not how I start the conversation. You have to build that relationship. This is a relationship business. And I really feel like that when we take that out, when we start to think that it's just so robotic and that I'm just going to ask and go next, which is kind of what I'm doing, but I'm also building the relationship in the process. Okay. And so it's a very simple question. Once I've built the relationship, once I've conversated with them, and let's just say I haven't talked to them in a really long time, I'll go through their Facebook feed and I'll look kind of to see what kind of conversation I can open with. If I can't really come up with a conversation, my go-to is, hey, just wanting to check in, touch base, see how you're doing with this in these crazy times.
Right. And that's great if it was real. This is what people get all the time. They get old friends contacting them saying, hey, I'm just checking in, seeing how you're doing. But you have a motive. You have an objective. You don't care how they're doing. You don't. You're just hoping that you can throw in, hey, I work for Scentsy. You could do what I do. I think you'd be amazing. I was thinking about you and knew that you would be great at this, which is just a, copy and paste what we see everyone say. It's sad. She can't find anything to bring up in conversation about them. So just like, oh, how are you doing these crazy times? And maybe someone is actually really struggling and they get that message from her and they're like, oh my God, we used to be so close. Like, she's reaching out to me. That's awesome. And then, 3 messages back and forth later, and she mentions, I run my own scent warmer business. And you're like, oh, so she doesn't actually care how I'm doing. And that's so upsetting for so many people. And maybe she does care. I cannot say she doesn't care. Maybe she does care. But she has an objective, and that is to get that person on her team, under her, create a downline. There's an incentive to talking to them and getting, somewhere to eventually be like, hey, by the way, do you want to sign up for Scentsy?
Because everyone's in the crazy times. And so that's a great little icebreaker to open up the conversation. And then we start chit-chatting. And then most of the time the opportunity will arise. They say, whatever it is they're saying.
And then you bring it up. What do you mean the opportunity will arise? You bring it up. I mean, I'm sure someone will say something about, I lost my job, or money got tight, or, things are just slowly or slowly picking up again. And then she throws that in. So she's looking for an opportunity to insert the opportunity.
I always end with, I know this is a really crazy random question, but have you ever thought about joining Scentsy for extra income? That's it. And I leave it wide open. And that's not that scary to do, because I've already had a conversation. And then what I do after I've had that conversation, I write their name on the top, I write the date, and I write what the conversation was. Hold on, let me mute. Okay. Anyway, and I write what our conversation was, and then I file.
At least she writes down what conversation they had, because a lot of them don't even take the time to look back and remember what the conversation is, because they talk to so many people every single day. They can't remember, they can't keep up with the conversations. So that is something smart, but it's the fact that she has to write it down, because she's talking to so many people a day, and she has to remember what conversation she was having with them, even though, on Facebook or Instagram, I mean, the messages are right there. You could go back and remind yourself, but I guess why do that when you could just write it down really quickly, look at that and be like, okay, so today I'm going to talk about this with them, or I'm going to check in with them, see if they were interested, and if they're not, then I'll move on.
After I've had that conversation, I file it in by first name. Remember I said I have A through Z? Then I just put it in their file. So that way on Fridays, what I do is I just go in and I kind of follow up on anybody that I haven't heard from in a while, or maybe people that were kind of on the fence or whatever. So I always do my follow-up Friday. So that's my system. I got off of the whole workshop, but I wanted to share that with you so that you know that it doesn't have to be scary, okay? And it can be just as simple as, hey, have you ever thought about joining Scentsy for extra income? Okay, now, when you build a team, whether you want to build a team because you're trying to earn Disney, which a lot of us are right now, it's imperative. You've got to build a team. You cannot go to Disney if you do not have a team. The end.
Excuse me? Excuse me. You have to have a team in order to go to Disneyland or Disney World or whichever. So it's not about selling the product. It's about having a team. They're giving you a trip incentive. I'm guessing you have to be a certain rank in the company in order to be eligible to go to Disney, which usually means you need to have X amount of people underneath you. Come on. Come on. How do you hear that? Why can't it be they reward you because you got, you sold $1,000 in a month, and then they send you a voucher for you and one other person, maybe you and, 4 people, so a family essentially, and you can go anytime between X and X. That would be great. That would make people want to sell the product and get out there. But of course, it's creating a downline, and then you get to go to Disney.
There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whether you want to build a team because you want to earn extra income, that's really the best way to do it, is by building a team. Whether you want to build a team because you want to have somebody to do this with, because honestly, it makes it more fun when you have people alongside you in your journey. That's always the best place to start, is starting with people you want to work with. Whatever your reason is for wanting to build a team, it is a good reason. Or maybe your why, maybe you're just passionate about helping other people, because it may not even be about you. It may not even be about Disney. It may not even be about extra income. It may just be that you want to go right along with the core values of Scentsy and give more than you take. And
there are so many better ways to help people and want to try and better people's lives than convincing them to join an MLM. I think we can all of us, most people can agree that there are way better ways to help people than to drag them into an MLM.
And that is an excellent why. So there's many reasons why we would want to build a team. So what I want you to do now is, if you did just hop on and you can get on the workstation, I want you to download the Share the Opportunity worksheet. And if you don't have it, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share a couple of videos that Scentsy has done. They're very short. Then we'll stop and we'll kind of work on the worksheet a little bit and we'll interact. But the main thing is, guys, is you have to have a personalized join message. So did you hear mine? Mine was very simple. Have you ever thought about joining Scentsy for extra income? So unmute yourself or raise your hand and let's hear anybody that already has a crafted generic join message that you ask people.
I hate this. I hate when they do that, it's so much like school. It's like, it'd be one thing if maybe they asked a couple people ahead of time to send in their personalized messages and then she can read them. I would understand that, but to just kind of like be like, all right, raise your hand. I get it that you can't really like speak because she has everybody muted, so it's like better to go like this, but it just feels like school. We're in school.
I just ask people, well, I don't ask them. I just let them know. I go through their customer orders, see how much they make, how much they bought, and I tell them, had you sold Scentsy, you could have made $121 back in commission.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good because a lot of times they don't realize it. You know, you guys, I'm trying to remember who this was. Anyway, I had somebody that asked me, you get paid? Well, yeah, that's kind of what I do because I get paid to do what I do. But it's funny because, you know, sometimes we think it's black and white and it's not to people. They think maybe we just get paid in product. But yeah, just letting people know, hey, you could have just gotten this. You could have just earned 120 bucks. That's okay, Michelle. You can go, come back, whatever. But yeah, that's a great message. Anybody else have a join message that they want to share? I'm going to call on, who was it that, no, who else sponsored somebody this month? Well,
don't call on somebody. That's even worse. That's, this gives me like, clearly get all like, It just reminds me of the worst parts of school when you didn't have an answer, you didn't know the answer, and the teacher would call on you, and then you're like, I don't know. And then everyone's looking at you. I mean, I know they're not looking at you because like, wow, you're dumb, because I didn't look at people like that, but it's still awkward. It's still uncomfortable. And I hate being called on.
At the gym. I don't want to call on you and put you on the spot. Would you be willing to share how you got your latest team member? What was the message that you shared? Okay. Well, if you...
Oh, that's why. This is why you don't just call on people. I hate that. Give me flashbacks about high school. Oh, that's the worst. I'm like getting embarrassed for them. Oh, calm down. Just like, this is so weird. It's like, I just, yes, sharing is good because this is the whole point of this thing and it's for other people to be able to get other people into the business. But it's like, I mean, maybe it'll work for one person on one person, but it may not work for others. And it really is just, you have to talk to the right person, unfortunately, who's, needing it at an unfortunate time, and they get involved because someone that they care about or someone that randomly reaches out to them got them at the right moment. And this is just what we're seeing, is it just like people sitting on these calls discussing different ways on how they can get more people into their businesses and create larger downlines. This is not, what message have you sent to someone to sell more product? How much product did you sell this month? How many scent warmers were you able to sell? Did you sell it to someone you knew? Did you go to, did you do it this way? Did you reach out on Instagram or Facebook? What was your best method? No, it's, what is your go-to join message? And it really is the, hey, hun, have you ever thought about owning your own business? That's what basically every single one of them are.
Sharing that would be awesome later. And I forgot, I squirreled a minute ago. So the whole reason I started sharing my binder was because I had my last team member say, why me? When I asked her that, I said, have you ever thought about earning extra money? And she says, I have. Why did you ask me?
Because you're a living human being. That's why. You just happen to be somebody that you stumbled across, and she asked you. You aren't special. You're a name in a notebook. And as mean as that is, that's what we see. You're just a name in a notebook. You are not anyone special. You were just on somebody's friends list somewhere, or you were, yeah, that's really what it is. You're probably on somebody's friends list somewhere, or you happen to comment on a picture of hers and she was talking to you about it. And it seems personal and it seems special, and it makes it seem, that's their whole thing, is they make it seem like you are special. They chose you to do this. No, you're just a name in a notebook. You're just a name on a friends list.
Because I had a discounted kit, that's why. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I had a host exclusive kit that was very little out-of-pocket expense, and I asked her, and so her question was, why me? And I shared with her why I thought that she would be perfect for Scentsy, and it really it helped her to see that, you know what, I will be good for this, because she already saw these qualities in me. So I feel like that when you write down why somebody would be good for Scentsy and then share that with them, it kind of helps reiterate, because
it's also a way to boost their ego. Like, I think you'd be great at sales. You're such a personable person, and you're lifting them up and you're listing good qualities about them that would make them what they think is like, oh my God, you think I could be a business owner like me? I've always thought that, but you think I can do this? You think I can do what you do? It's all to just drag you in. It's something they say to everybody. Everyone has the drive and the work ethic, and they'll be great at this. Every person, everyone. I doubt they've ever said to someone, I don't think you'd be good at this. I don't think they've ever said that to anyone, because they think everyone can do it, because they need everyone to do it.
People don't join because they are fearful of either failing, or they're fearful of failing, that nobody will buy from them, or that they're not good enough, or they're not a salesperson. I mean, we've heard all the excuses under the sun, but when you already help and know that person, like, hey, you have a great personality, I know you would be good for this. Or you know what, a lot of people, or you're fantastic on social media or whatever, share that quality with them, because us women especially are really hard on ourselves, and we don't see the qualities that we have in ourselves. We just see all the bad things, the negative. We tend to tear ourselves apart, but we are amazing and we have great qualities. But when somebody else recognizes that in us, that makes us feel super good. So enough about that. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. So now if you go to your worksheet, and if you don't have the worksheet, let me share that with you, hopefully. Hold, please. Okay, can you guys see the share the opportunity worksheet?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So the first thing I want you to do is write down who you would love to have on your...
Is this homework? Are we taking a class for our own business? I mean, I guess people do that, but this is just crazy to me. She's asking people to raise their hand, calling on them. This looks like something that we would fill out in school as homework to do. This is so bizarre.
I want you to come up with at least 5 people right now. And then as you're writing those names, I want you to write down how they could enrich your life. I'm sorry, how Scentsy could enrich their life.
No, that's correct. The way that you worded it, how could they enrich your life? That's the correct way to word it.
So why do you think they would be good for Scentsy? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to get that done.
Look at this one.
So who you would love to have on your team and how Scentsy could enrich their lives. So if anybody is done and they would love to share, you don't necessarily need to tell me who. You could tell me, well, it's my best friend or my sister or my neighbor. And then
don't tell me who, but tell me who.
Why you think Scentsy would enrich your life.
Why was that all my best friend, my sister, my neighbor? Why was that all like people in your immediate, thing? Not like, oh, I'd love to just find a random person to sell to, or I'd love to try and sell to the soccer team, the product, the product.
So hop in and share when you get a chance.
I have a friend who I'm actually having a party with that I'm hoping to flip to her when her party is over. She deals with depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. And I think that this would be a good opportunity for her to come out of her comfort zone and help her build her self-esteem and promote her self-worth and stuff like that.
I love that.
No, absolutely not. There are so many better ways for people to get out there and work on their mental health issues, better ways than spending money in a business and trying really hard to make money in a business that's not built for them to make money. Talk about more anxiety. Talk about more stress and pressure on yourself. No. Bad.
So much. I really love that. You didn't say anything about extra income, and it doesn't have to be about income. Thanks, Dawn. That's awesome. I love that you shared that. Okay. Anyone else want to share?
Somebody is very interested in making something in the microwave over sharing, but that's because they probably didn't think that they'd be called on or need to raise their hand to share with the class who they want to add to their team. Well, how does that benefit other people who they benefit to their team? It doesn't.
I have a friend who's a stay-home mom most of the time. When school's back in session, she does a part-time job for the school, run recess, so that she can be home for the kids. And I think her biggest complaint that I hear is that she doesn't get any adult time. So Scentsy would be perfect for some girls' nights and adult time. Like, she does have Scentsy parties with me a couple times a year just to have girls over and have adult time. So I think it'd be perfect for her to get her out more and not be stuck with the 3 littles all the time.
Yeah. Again, not anything about the income. Good. I love that. And that's actually, for those of you who didn't know, that's exactly why I joined, because I needed adult time. I needed something for me and to get me.
But you can have that without asking your friends to spend money. You can do a thing where you maybe have everybody come over to one set person's house and you all cook a meal that you've never had, or each person brings like a new dish to share and you just sit around and you try that food. Or like I said, you have like a little mini cooking class in your house and you all try and make something different. Or you can have everybody come over and do like a wine and paint night, like maybe take some of the kids' finger paints and just finger paint for fun. Everybody, bring one person, bring your mom or your sister or your best friend, and then they can get to meet new people, and you can create a little thing that you maybe do once a month that's free or requires very little money and sounds a lot more fun and than spending money on Scentsy and having this fun party that's forced for people. They feel obligated to buy, of course. And then it's not just you're obligated to buy. It's like, well, you could be making this money and you could be in this business. Instead of feeling like everything is forced and you need to spend money and it could be awkward with some people, you could do it so low maintenance. Just have a chill night at home for a few hours, do something new, watch a movie, have a cookie night, do like a wine and finger paint night, or you can do a regular paint night, put Bob Ross on the TV or something and have everybody try and paint. I think that would be a lot of fun. And each person can bring something different. Like you bring the paint, you bring the brushes, you bring the poster board, or if you want to splurge a little bit, the canvases. And I think that'd be a lot of fun. And it's just so much better than asking people to spend money on a product that maybe they don't even really use or really want. I don't know. And, if you want to bring money into it, I say the finger painting one, make it like a thing. Y'all put like $5 in, and whoever has the best finger painting, wins the money. Something like that.
The house where I didn't feel guilty. And so, yeah, that's awesome. All right. We're going to share one more if anybody wants to share.
I have a best friend. She doesn't have little kids at home, but she's always around her husband and her dog. And she doesn't have very much of a social life. And I think Scentsy would get her out if I could get her to do like some events. And
I think my previous things still apply. You take her to somebody else's house, and then that person can invite somebody else, and you can do something like that. If people don't drink, just do, and they don't have kids, then maybe you can all take up and try and learn a new craft or something, or just hang out and do the cooking thing. Everybody usually likes to eat and try new foods. Sometimes, there could be the picky people. I totally get that. I am trying to get over my pickiness. Or you could just play card games, board games. I love board games, bring some Candyland. I would be all over that. Do something different, fun, that doesn't require spending money.
home parties, I think she would have more interactual skills with other people other than her husband.
Good. So good. I love that. Okay. And then I also want you to write down how and where are you going to meet new people? Does anyone struggle in this area of meeting new people? Or maybe you never struggled before, but now with the pandemic, you're starting to struggle a bit. So then why don't you take about 1 minute to write down some ideas of where you can meet new people. And then we'll open that up for a little bit more of sharing. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something fun that I've been loving doing on my Zooms with corporate lately is I'm going to put you guys in breakout rooms, okay? So it's going to be completely random. There's going to be 5 or 6 of you to a breakout room, and I want you to share some ideas.
Oh my God, this is school. She's putting them into groups. And then it's a group project. This is what they do in school. I have never, I guess this is something different than the typical thing, but I don't understand. If they want to share and talk to each other, then they can do that on their off time. I feel like with this, they're trying to learn from her, who she said with corporate, meaning I don't know how high, blah, blah, words are hard, how high up she is. I don't know how often corporate talks to everyone and who they talk to. I don't know. But I just think that they're there because they want to, take information from her. They're not looking for information from other people. But I guess she can only give so much. I guess the other people in the group can at least give other inputs, but it's like at that point you could just probably go into the Facebook group, ask people, hey, how do you guys find people to, what's the go-to that you guys go to? And more than likely people will give you an answer and ideas. So you could do that instead of sitting on this Zoom call for an hour. But maybe they all know each other. I don't know. They're all supposedly, you force everyone to be best friends, right?
Okay, welcome back, guys. Was that cool? I love breakout rooms. They're so fun. Okay.
Like, oh, nobody said anything. They're like, did we get a say in this? No? Yeah, that's like teachers who are like, how do you guys love the group projects? Are you all having so much fun and loving it? And I would assume most people are always, we're never like, yeah, we love it. Ooh, our favorite.
Any questions? This was a lot of information.
I just really want to be clear on the
I was gonna say, I hate the awkward silences. It's always so much. But I know they should ask at the end, like, do you guys have any questions? But really, maybe just end it and say, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or message me. I'm always open to asking questions. Maybe you can ask each other in the Facebook group, and we can all help each other and have a funderful. You get what I'm going for.
kit. So Perpetual Rewards, we always use those, right?
That's an extra half price item on every order.
Okay.
Or on every party order.
Every party order. Okay. And that's for us?
It's okay. The way that Perpetual Party Reward is intended, it's intended to give to the host. So let's just use you as an example, that Stacy booked the party and you, Jocelyn, booked a party from Stacy's party. Then Jocelyn, you would get that half price reward as a thank you for booking a party. I'm sorry, I lie. Stacy would get with Perpetual Party Reward as a thank you for you booking a party off of her party.
Okay, but okay, gotcha. So that's how you.
This is why this stuff is so confusing, because you get a reward. You don't get a reward. The hostess gets a reward for you booking a party off of her booking a party. So, like, if she decided to host a party, the other person gets a reward, not the person in the business hosting the party. I probably just don't understand. But it's like, I don't need to understand. I'm not in the business. They need to understand, and they don't even get it.
Intended for.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you have to go ahead, but I'm going to address this. So Dawn says she's struggling getting parties. It's going to be the same thing as the recruits, right? Is you have to have a goal of how many people am I going to ask to book a party. It goes back to, it's all a numbers game. It's about asking more people. And you may find that you're getting in a little rut about being able to book parties, and that's okay. Try something different. Maybe just try posting on your Facebook wall that we have a new catalog and you're sending out some samples. And then as people reply, then you message them and say, hey, you know what? I just thought it would be fun if you wanted to do a quick Facebook party. It's a 30-minute thing. Try a different approach. But
that's why it's difficult, because you are dependent on other people to do these parties and to join the business. This is not just you hosting I don't know why you need, I get why you need our people, but like to get more eyes on stuff so that you can hopefully recruit those people. But it's like, if you just had a product and you just said, hey guys, like I, create a new product, or I have new items, go to my link, here you go. Hope to see you there. And you can run promotions. You can say, if you guys, since you saw this on Facebook, use code Facebook Funderful for 10% off. Something like that, because you can.
Key is, it's asking. All right, anything else? Any other questions? Any other suggestions on recruiting, booking parties, any of the things? I'll do this again next week, since this was thrown together in 30 minutes on an accident.
What about if you're just continuously getting no answers to joining and booking a party.
How many people have you asked?
That's not an answer. That's not an answer. And that's the thing, is that is their answer. Well, then ask more people. Just keep asking people. Who cares if you get no's? Just keep asking more people. But that's the thing, is that they are hoping, like, what do? Do you keep asking them? Do you go about it a different way? Do you wait X amount of days between, like, maybe, talking to them again? But it's because it's such a hard business model. It's such a hard thing to get involved with and get into. And we've heard this question be asked so many times, and we've heard the answer really is just keep talking to more people. As sad as that is, and how nothing of an answer that is, that's the answer.
I ask a lot of people. My inbox is full. If not my inbox, me calling people that I know, and it's constantly not right now, not right now, not right now, and I feel like I'm being a bugaboo,
Yeah, I know. You do feel like that after a while. So when you get that answer, not right now, how do you respond?
Basically, well, just let me know when there's a good time, when it's a good time for you, and we can visit this conversation again then.
Okay, so maybe try to switch that around and just say, I'm just curious as to what would make it a good time. And ask them what,
They're trying to let her down without giving her a direct no. And she's clearly just like, okay, let me know when it can be a good time. A lot of people just aren't going to just flat out say no, but if you keep bugging them, that's the answer she's going to get, is a flat out no.
Would make it a good time. Now isn't a good time. So what would make that a good time? And let them come, because a lot of times that's just a natural response, because again, they don't think they can do it. They don't think they're a good salesperson. They're already talked themselves out of it before they've even given themselves an opportunity to think about it. And again, you're not being a bugaboo when you're asking and trying to bless people's lives, because when you start bugging is when people tell you no, and you've come up with you've tried to bust their excuses, and then they keep telling you no, and you're like, no, but you don't want to be pressuring. There's a difference between pressuring people and trying to bust through their excuses, because it could bless their lives in whatever way. So remember, you were driving, but in the worksheet, it says here, how could Scentsy enrich their lives? So when you write that down, and you could say, okay, Angela, it can bless their lives because she can stay home with her kids. That's something that you have to remember to tell them. Just say, well, okay, what would make the timing good for you? Because I was really thinking you would be great at Scentsy because you know a lot of people, or because I know you have little ones, and I think I think it would be great because it could give you the opportunity to spend more time with your family, or whatever.
Right. Okay.
So
I try to treat it like, telemarketing, and how you have all the different rebuttals and stuff that you come back with the customer. That's how I treat it. So.
Yeah. But, and just be genuine. Just be genuine from the heart. Like, this is why I want people to join, and this is why I want you to join, and just tell them the qualities that you see in them, and see if that will help.
Okay, I will do. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? If someone has a really good party, oh, yes, I book them again in a few months. Exactly. So just like when you go to the dentist and they schedule you for that cleaning every 6 months, you should always reschedule that hostess for the next catalog season, or even sooner. But if nothing else, you should have the same host should host a party at least twice a year for you, every change of catalog. So very, very good point, Bonnie. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, have a great night, guys. Thank you, and good luck.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Scentsy lady. Whew, I feel like I just got out of a high school class or a college class that I got called on way too many times, and there was too much of that awkward silence that we all hate so much. And it's just, the emphasis on the recruiting is insane. None of this is really, like, it's, use the new products coming out to entice people into the opportunity. So it's like, again, the products are there as a nice shiny present, you know, like, oh, doesn't that look great? Wouldn't you love to do this? And then you get into it and you realize the products they're just there. They're just there as a cover up for what it really is. And we all know what that is, right? I need to work on this. We know what it is. But they always are just like, if you want to make the real money, you got to recruit. You have to share the opportunity with more and more people and reach out to everyone who you've ever talked to in your entire life. Have a notebook, keep up with those people. And, you know, products, they're there, but even Scentsy says, you know, you can't make a lot of money selling the product. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk all things Scentsy in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then.